Hi everyone, welcome to take two of trying to do this after I dropped my controller and left the call. So now I have to redo it. I mean, we didn't even start because I immediately fucked it up. But anyway, I am your host, as ever, Peppermint. I joined once more, as ever, seemingly all the fucking time by
No.
by the person who makes the same joke every review. It's Amelia, my wife, the Obsidian Nook, Pet ASMR, whatever the fuck. We are back with another review. My god, did we pick a fucking spicy one this week for you. A film that you immediately didn't like for the fact that it started with 19. Because you're like, oh, we're doing a film from 1985. It wasn't boring, it was just a bit fucking weird. It was a lot to try and, like, comprehend. But anyway, we are looking at The Stuff, that is the name of it. The film best known for being about killer ice cream.
Basically, one massive advertisement.
Well, kind of, except for the fact the stuff isn't real. Except for the fact they plugged Coca-Cola in there at some point. And McDonald's a little bit. But, yeah, this film was fucking weird. I knew it was going to be a strange one as soon as I heard about it years and years ago and finally got a hold of a copy. But my god, did I fucking underestimate how fucking bizarre and just straight up fucking confusing and weird this was going to be. However, we are keeping the trend going of picking the weirdest fucking films I can find, following the legendary one-eyed monster that we covered a couple of months ago now, I think. The film about the penis that kills people. Go watch our review on that if you're weirdly intrigued. That was a fucking strange fucking film. And that was made not as long ago as this one, but this is the era of films where it's just like, let's pick the most bizarre shit and how can that kill people? How can we turn that into a horror movie? So they went with fucking ice cream for whatever reason. You probably, if you haven't heard or seen the film, you've probably seen the horrifying image that is present in the back of this video as well as the video's thumbnail. Unfortunately, no kill like that ever happens, and if the kills were going to be shit, I was going to pick that one as my favourite. Even if it didn't actually happen in the film. But no, we picked a kill from the film because they weren't all terrible, surprisingly. So, we'll get into them in a minute. Amelia is down to her usual scheme of going on colouring while I talk for half an hour or whatever.
I really don't have much to say about
You should have loads to say. This film is fucking mental.
it. It was just weird and bizarre and
It was not the most entertaining thing in the world, despite its campy premise. It's probably because it was funny. It was funny. It was funny to laugh at. I said I wanted to pick a film that was going to be shit,
I do not remember us.
except for all the green screen and some of the deaths are good though. You got to give it that.
The green screen. Fucking terrible.
The multiple uses of 80s green screen, as we will talk about. Anyway, we'll get right into it. Spoilers ahead, of course. Not like that much really happens, unfortunately. I really want to put you through Killer Clowns from Outer Space, because that is a fucking trip and a half of a film. Anyway, this film was written and directed by the same guy, which is always a good start if it's written by one person. His name is Larry Cohen. I'm not familiar with any of his work, except for this. I swear there's not been a single time, or like very few times, where I've known anything else the director has done. Other than like Steven Spielberg when we did Jurassic Park 1 and 2. Like, other than that, there's not been a director where I've been like, oh yeah, he's done films like this and this, this and this. Because it used to be that I would go through their like list of films and it'd just be like Oh, I have no idea what that is. Oh, I've heard of that, maybe. Or like, oh, I remember hearing someone say something about that. Excuse me, what a good way to start. We've literally just watched this and it basically put us to sleep. So, yeah, be ready. It was pretty boring. Except for like when people were dying, it was just like walk, talk, blah blah blah. Like nothing's really happening. So anyway, in a quarry, a man discovers a strange white substance that he immediately begins to eat. It's literally bubbling out of the ground, and he just puts his fingers and is like, yummy. That could have been literally fucking anything boiling out the ground in an old quarry. That could have been like acid or something. Well, probably wouldn't have been, but that's not the point.
I would never go swim.
Fucking legs would melt off if you swam in a river in the UK. Ugh, look, we don't have blue water, we have like browny green. It's disgusting.
Looks like someone pooped.
Looks like baby poo poo. So yeah, he finds it weirdly delicious. Elsewhere, a boy, whose name is Jason, he is played by Scott Bloom, awakens in the night and discovers some of his ice cream, called the titular stuff. Take a shot every time I say the stuff in this video. It happens a lot. So yeah, he discovers the stuff was moving. His dad, played by Frank Telfer, interrupts and sends him back to bed. A group of businessmen, the Stuff's competitors led by Evans, played by Alexander Scalvi, recruit Mo, played by Michael Moriarty. This fucking entire character and this actor is so fucking bizarre. He does some weird shit and gives some strange line deliveries. He is recruited to act as a corporate spy. After having an interesting series of introductions with the men, he receives his paycheck and randomly knocks someone out. He just fucking decks someone.
It's really long. Something about it. I can't put a finger.
He just sounds weird and he just acts weird. He may as well have been the alien in this fucking film. Jason tries to warn his family of the stuff, including his actual real-life brother, who is played by Brian Bloom. Slapping the ice cream out of his brother's hand, he does a runner, as we call it in the UK, he scarpers, and his mother, played by Colette Blonigan, notices it doesn't leave a mark when cleaned. Obviously, ice cream fucking would. Mo interrupts the filming of a commercial, giving a cringy introduction to Nicole, played by Andrea Marcovici, saying he wants to buy her agency. At the supermarket, Jason sees people enjoying the stuff and randomly goes crazy, literally just stealing it off like this toddler, throwing it on the ground, destroying loads of tubs of it, eventually being restrained by several people. Mo gets an appointment with Mr. Vickers, played by Danny Aiello, under the guise of interviewing him for a magazine. From Vickers, he gains some old pieces of paperwork and that he and his dog eat the stuff. Mo takes note that Vickers is scared of the dog. After Mo leaves, the dog attacks him, being infected by the stuff, as they will be referred to as stuffies. Could have thought of a better name, but hey ho, they're basically like mind-controlled people that are being like hosts to this parasitic alien ice cream thing. The dog attacks Vickers, somehow knowing to pull out the phone lines and vomiting the stuff into his mouth. So yeah, presumably they both die. We don't see Vickers again. Mo follows his clues and goes to a mostly abandoned town where he is attacked by a gentleman known as Chocolate Chip Charlie, played by Garrett Morris.
I feel bad for
Yeah. Unfortunately. He was very fucking weird, though.
and obviously
Yeah, we literally said was one of the good characters. After they calm down, after, you know, he just attacks him, he literally, like, jumps off the roof of his car. Charlie explains that his company was taken over by the Stuffs Company. Mo learns from an overly defensive store owner that everyone has moved away from the town to Georgia. The man excuses himself and leaves. Hearing the man moaning from inside the back room, Mo and Charlie break the door down, finding the man dead, having been killed by the stuff. Yeah, so basically, it just came back out of him. Following the trail, they are chased by several men who, once attacked, immediately die, even after having their face punched off. Like, literally punches a guy and half of his face just falls away. But then he punches other people later on that are infected as well, and that, like, nothing happens. No, like, big face explosion. Forgot where I am now, forgive me. Oozing out some of the stuff. Back in the store, the man comes back to life. Yeah, so they're kind of zombies, they're kind of not, it's weird. Mo and Charlie head to a diner where Mo tells him to visit an FBI agent in DC before asking for a lift from a patron. The diner's waitress opens a freezer that contains a large amount of the stuff, despite denying having any earlier. Walking through the city, Mo is almost struck down by one of the delivery vans while going to visit Fletcher, played by Patrick O'Neill. Someone's being sick. Sorry, one of the cats are being sick somewhere. He's just heard about the stuff. I don't entirely know why he was nearly run over. I don't know if it's because, like, the stuff is a hive mind or something. It's not really explained. But so a woman pulls a radio out, I think, talking to the van driver. So I don't really know. It's not really explained. Afterwards, he meets with Nicole, where they learn about Jason's outburst. Jason, who has been grounded for life, because of course, even though eventually he will grow up, that he can just tell his parents to fuck off and do what he wants. Or he can be a good boy. Goes downstairs and finds his family have only been eating the stuff. Of course, his family are now all stuffies, just like the store owner. His family continue to defend the product and act seemingly oblivious and like they're in a commercial. After trying to leave, his brother chases him and catches him, bringing him to his parents, who give him a tub of it. Rather than eating it, he dumps it into the toilet, where it becomes alive before being flushed. He returns downstairs with the tub filled with Barbasol shaving cream. Weird to have a returning character that's not physically a fucking real-life creature or person. It's the Barbasol can returning from Jurassic Park. The OG. Well, no, this was before Jurassic Park.
In fact, I'm gonna set up.
Honestly, it's so fucking strange that we have a can, like a brand can that's returned from something, that it's not like Coke or something. It's like, oh, he's drinking a Coke, which was previously seen in this film. Oh dear. The fucking shaving cream was a better character than most of the ones in this film. Shout out to Barbasol if that company's even, like, in business anymore. Sorry, I'm gonna have to Google this now to see if they're, like, still active. Founded in 1919. It's still going. Well done. Anyway, sorry, enough about a side tangent about shaving cream. So yeah, he fills it with shaving cream, but his family catch on to the ruse as he escapes with them in pursuit. Before they can catch him, Mo arrives and rescues him in his car. This is where I said to you, this was the early 80s, where driving in a movie is the equivalent of just moving your hands around, even though your car should be swerving like crazy, even though you're supposedly driving in a straight line. Along with Nicole, they board a plane headed for Georgia, where they meet with some of the town's old residents, leaving Jason on the plane. There, the pilot is killed by the stuff as the store owner from earlier appears. How the fuck he got all the way down to Georgia from wherever they were? Stater? I don't even know if that's a real place. Anyway, sorry. Nicole and Mo head to the factory as Jason discovers an old mine that is being used by the company. Jason climbs into an empty tanker where a worker shuts the hatch and seals him inside. Mo and Nicole check into a hotel nearby to the factory where the stuff comes out of the pillows and attacks Mo. Nicole comes up with the genius idea of burning it with it attached to his face still. But she's like, I'm gonna burn it, and pours like oil on his face and sets fire to him. No, conveniently he's fine. Which causes it to fly off. So yeah, our big reveal is that fire is the weakness of ice cream because fire melts ice cream. However, an infected man breaks in and is immediately consumed by a heavy amount of the stuff before it and the motel are burned. Jason is taken to the quarry from the opening as Mo and Nicole arrive at the site. Mo slips into a work uniform before sending Nicole back to their car with a kiss, apparently having been in a relationship since they first met, like a matter of days ago. I was so confused. Sneaking onto the worksite where he is spotted by the worker from the factory who he knocks out. Don't even think I mentioned that, actually. Yeah, genuinely, I didn't even mention their little guided tour, but yeah. They have a little tour of the factory, and that worker comes back and then just gets knocked out. There's a lot of knocking out in this film, unfortunately. So inside the truck, green screen Jason is trapped as the stuff oozes towards him. Even though they have him, like, physically on set inside of a tanker, they still green screen him in front of the fucking stuff coming into it, despite using puppets to do most of the, like, work as literally the stuff. So they just were like, rather than just, like, composing two shots together, let's just green screen him in front of it and make it look fucking terrible. However, Mo hears him and steals the truck. As he drives away, he detonates some convenient explosives he placed around the quarry, seemingly burying the stuff as Jason taunts it. He's just fucking, like, going off on one for this fucking ice cream thing. Nicole is attacked by the store owner as Mo arrives, proceeding to run him over and split him in half before, for whatever reason, his head explodes. There you go, there's the best kill. Spoilers. Mo rescues Jason before they head back out onto the road in the tanker truck. The truck is eventually pulled over by a police officer who orders them out of it. They believe he's infected, so they fake eat the stuff, causing him to join them, and they knock him out. Because he is a stuffy. Heading back onto the road, they arrive at a building guarded by armed men led by Spears, played by Paul Sorvino. Mo explains the situation going on in the world, using his patriotic paranoia of commies to try and recruit him and his men. Succeeding, they return the truck to the quarry and raid it, gunning down a stuffy at the gate. Entering the factory, they find it abandoned due to the staff all being dead, the stuff having evacuated its hosts. Just several dead bodies on the ground. Nicole and Jason leave the scene, but are chased by the stuff, ending up outside, where it blows open the walls and just comes to a stop. Just stops going after them. The group takes several planes and taxis down to the radio station in order to... Sorry, bear with me. I'm just going to reread that. The group takes several planes down to a radio station in order to broadcast a warning to the non-infected. And this is where the film doesn't know how to end itself properly in a moment. In a little while, sorry, I forgot there's more stuff that happens in between. Charlie reappears in the film and storms into the radio station, demanding to assist with the broadcast, much to the annoyance of the randomly racist Spears. Speaking with Nicole in private, Charlie is revealed, of course, to be a stuffy who vomits out the stuff, destroying his head and killing him. Yeah, it's practical, it looks crap compared to today's standards.
And this is why we have people who approve our food.
Exactly.
Unless you're in America.
This is set in America, so there you go. That explains it. Mo breaks the window to the room and sets fire to the stuff and rescues them. Oh, excuse me. Don't know why it is when I talk that I fucking get tired. It's just too much yap. I'm gonna have a little sip. Sorry if I just bang the headset.
No, because I think America and someone did a comparison of the British, like, French fries with the ingredients and then the American. And American food has a lot more in it than British food.
That's not more like artificial shit, isn't it? And the salt content, Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry. We're not here to go off on Americans like we usually do with food-related movies. Just fucking watch The Founder, because we just went off on McDonald's for like half an hour. Despite the attack, they go ahead with their broadcast, and sometime later, the nation took the words of a lunatic and a child as the truth and destroyed all trace of it. Just immediately, it cuts to like a TV recording of Nicole talking, and she's like, "And the nation listened." Really? I hate to tell you, America, but I don't believe that you would just take the words. Well, actually, you took the words of a lunatic and you called him your president for several years. Ooh. We won't specify who, but we all know who.
Apparently, Donald Trump didn't have no war. He didn't start no war. And apparently, the other ones had about 10 or something.
Mo returns to Fletcher, who also has Evans with him, having joined forces to create a new product called The Taste. My god, they really do have some creative fucking names. The Taste supposedly will not be able to create stuffies, so Mo insists they taste it. Mo calls in Jason, who has some samples of the original stuff, and draws a gun on the men, forcing them to eat some of the original stuff. The two men eat all of the tubs in front of them and become stuffies as the police arrive, as some smugglers continue to sell the stuff, as the film thankfully fucking ends. My god. I said to you, and I think I said at the start, I knew this film was going to be bad, but fucking hell, it dragged. So, babe, would you like to give some of your classic commentary on the film?
Didn't like it very much, a bit shit.
Didn't really enjoy it or like it. Didn't have it on DVD.
But unfortunately, I do.
And the end of
Rushed as well. It's just out of nowhere. This whole film was just a big, like, what the fuck is going on? The killer penis.
Yeah, because that actually was like
Yeah, that was. It reminds me a lot of oh fucking hell, Starsy, why you gotta do that? Damn it, I can't remember what the film's called. The Glob or something? Oh, I can't remember. The Blob, thank you. It's the killer slime that literally eats people. Like that. Literally came out 3 years after this, so it probably just stole the whole thing. But yeah, it reminds me a lot of that, except the Blob is a lot more horror, because it literally, like, sucks people in and then just, like, disintegrates them. Whereas this, it's just, like, it hollows them out from the inside, I believe. But I think that's what was happening. But it's not a lot is explained, it's just, like, come up with your own conclusions, lol. We just want to tell a stupid story. Anyway, best kill goes to the store owner, as mentioned earlier. Just because he literally gets ran over and his body splits in half and then his head explodes. Even though I don't know why his head exploded, for whatever reason. And the worst kill goes to the random workers who had their bodies, like, left behind by the stuff in the factory. Because it's boring. I mean, admittedly, one of the soldiers does, like, whack him in the head and it just caves in. But anyway, thank you ever so much for listening to our ramblings for however long we've been doing this for, about 20 minutes or so. I've been your host as ever, Purple Midnight, joined once more by my wife, the Obsidian Nook Pearl ASMR. You can find her links inside of the link tree in the description, along with all of mine and Morgan's. If you have any idea who Morgan is, because he never appears on the reviews anymore. Thank you ever so much for listening, and we will see you for your Amelia's Choice, whenever that is. Probably in the next few days, I should say. So yeah, we'll see you then.